started. Now it is going on. Yeah, there is an intermission because of the network problem. So now you can see two strands. Each strand is containing a purine or pyrimidine. This is a pyrimidine cytosine base, a purine base on other strand, and this is the sugar. Sugar is a pentose, and in this case deoxyribose, and in a phosphate residue, phosphoric acid residue, base, sugar, phosphoric acid residue, and the next nucleotide, base, sugar, phosphoric acid residue, and these two nucleotides are connected by phosphodiester bond. This is a double bond with oxygen, diester bond. So each nucleotide is connected by phosphodiester bond. So the structure of DNA, the main scientists behind unraveling or deciphering this structure, or otherwise open to the universe. The inventors are mainly the Maurice Wilkins, Rosalind Franklin, and Edward Chargaff have given this design. But finally, it is a two strands containing a double helical model is finally pronounced by the Watson and Crick. So all these five members are combined work is the molecular anatomy of DNA. Now, how one DNA can produce another DNA? You have two strands. Yes, you understood it. So how these two strands can all the two can produce another two strands, or some part produces some of the next molecule, and some of this strand produces another molecule. Is it like that? It is the final discovery. Matthew Meselson and Stahl, who has told us that it is semi-conservative replication. That means these two strands will be separated out, basing on the dictation of one strand of the mother DNA, one strand of mother DNA, one exactly opposite the following the base pairing rule. Another strand is replicated. Another strand is produced. That is what is replicated. So each one are separated out and produces one opposite strand. So now from the mother, each strand is separated, and each one of the mother is present in both the next molecules. So this is what is called as semi-conservative replication. Semi-conservative replication. So here there is a red strand, produced a green new strand, and there is a second one is what is called a brown or orange strand, something like that. And this the mother from the mother producing another one. So both of them. So it is a semi-conservative replication. So model of replication. It can be a molecule can totally produce another molecule. This is a conservative model. Here both of them separated out, and they are producing, each mother strand is producing the next strand, and here each mother strand is, the mother strand is producing another new strand and producing, this is what is called semi-conservative model. Semi-conservative model. So now this is another one is called dispersive model. So these are the models which are given. So now steps in the DNA replication. What are the steps in the DNA replication? There are the steps are initiation, primer synthesis, leading strand synthesis, lagging strand synthesis, primer removal, ligation, and termination. So these are all the various steps that are followed in the synthesis of replication. So this is a semi-conservative synthesis, semi-conservative model of replication. What is needed? A new strand is to be synthesized. How it can be synthesized? A nucleotide need to be joined to another nucleotide by phosphodiesterase bonding. And who does this particular bonding process? An enzyme. What is that enzyme? DNA polymerase. This DNA polymerase is originally invented by a Nobel laureate, Arthur Hardenberg. And his invention was immediately given a Nobel Prize in 1959 itself. So he has the credit of inventing the DNA polymerase, which is the main one, which joins a nucleotide to a nucleotide to a nucleotide to a nucleotide, and synthesizing another strand and using the mother strand as a supporting scaffold. And this is how two molecules will be produced. And what are other enzymes, supporting enzymes? There are other supporting enzymes. What are they called as? There is what is called a helicase and single strand binding proteins. And then the DNA, and these are all present. And then they separate out the two strands of the mother DNA. The new strand is synthesized from 5' to 3' direction. Base pairing rule is always maintained. So from this, taking the dictation from the mother strand, the parent, the next daughter strand is getting 1 by 1 joining. From the adenine, thymine, from the dictation of guanine, cytosine, 1 by 1 nucleotides come and stands in alignment, and the phosphodiesterase linkage will be done by the DNA polymerase of Arthur Hardenberg. So now, initially, the orientation of the DNA in the double strand is need to be opened up. And after opening up these helix, then initially a small piece of RNA is needed to start the replication process. So for this purpose, what is that enzyme? RNA, or otherwise primase, a small enzyme, primase. The direction is always 5' to 3', and hence on the other strand, the direction is changing, and hence what is happening is the synthesis of these nucleotide strands synthesis in the pieces it will occur, and hence they are called as Okazaki pieces on the lagging strand. Leading strand and the lagging strand are the names given on either strands. So there is another strand, another enzyme, important enzyme, topoisomerase. When the DNA double helix is twisted in a knots, and these knots are removed by topoisomerase enzyme. And there is another enzyme, helicase. It unwinds the DNA. And the single strand binding proteins, it will not allow the once opened strand again recoil back, rebound back to produce another coiling. And similarly, the initial starting point of RNA is produced by RNA, or otherwise the primase enzyme producing the RNA piece, so primase. So RNA primer, and then go on the DNA polymerase, go on synthesizing it. Initially RNA primer, and then the DNA is getting synthesized in the new strand. DNA polymerase is the main enzyme. And in the last, the pieces in the Okazaki, that is the lagging strand, will be finally joined by the enzyme ligase. So many enzymes are coming in the way. Helicase, single strand binding proteins, DNA polymerase, and deoxyribonucleotides 1 by 1 coming and joining and producing the strands, continuous DNA strands synthesis on the leading strand, whereas in discontinuous synthesis on the lagging strand, which are called as Wakjaki fragments. So this is again another model which is being shown. The two strands are opened up, single strand binding proteins, DNA polymerase enzyme, the lagging strand continuous, leading strand in the discontinuous pieces, and that those are the Okazaki pieces. And this is being described by the Okazaki too, the pair, that is the husband and wife, Rezi Okazaki and Zunego Okazaki. Both of them are both of them are they have deciphered this particular model. Last primer from the discontinuous strands, the RNA primer is finally removed, and then another isoenzyme of DNA polymerase 3 and DNA polymerase 1, it will fill the gaps. The main enzyme is DNA polymerase 3. The gap filling one is DNA polymerase 1. And then ligase. So now helicase, single strand binding proteins, DNA polymerase 3, which continuously joins the nucleotides. And in the last, primer's gap is being filled by DNA polymerase 1. And the last one is ligation. So these are the chemical nature, DNA ligase, how it does. It needs ATP or NAD, and then finally a phosphodiester bond is being produced. So now this is the termination site. This is the termination site. There is what is called Hus. So now again, what are the main important enzymes? Helicase, DNA primase, DNA polymerase, exonuclease. Helicase, DNA primase, DNA polymerase, which is an exonuclease, DNA polymerase 1, DNA ligase, single strand binding proteins, all these complex is needed for the replication. And this is another view. And then we completely, from one point to another point, completely the DNA sequence, the DNA material is completely being produced, reproduced, is replication. But there is another important word called as transcription. This DNA is containing genes. We all know about it. These genes are going to produce the characters of an individual. The characters of an individual is mainly because of distinctive proteins that are being synthesized. How are they synthesized? They are synthesized by the dictation of these genes. How the genes are able to produce proteins? The gene initially will be giving its message onto another coding material, which is called as RNA. And that information having a material which can travel in the nucleotide and polynucleotide form is called as mRNA, messenger RNA. What is the message? Whatever is the gene material, whatever the gene information is being transferred onto mRNA. And this process of synthesizing mRNA from a gene, which is the DNA strand, a part of DNA strand. This is what is transcription. Transcript or transcription. So now this information in the mRNA will be traveled into the cytosol. And that is from the nucleus it travels out. And then finally, ultimately, it goes into the cytosol, and there present ribosomes. And in the ribosomes, this mRNA goes there, and then with the help of the complete apparatus of protein synthesis, the protein is being synthesized. Protein is a polymer of amino acids. DNA and RNA are polymers of nucleotides. So the information in the nucleotides is transferred onto the information as information of amino acids, polymer of amino acids, which are the proteins, and they have the capacity to give the various characters to the animals or individuals. So the synthesis of mRNA from DNA transcription, how is it going to happen? And then a word is being given by the famous scientists, the Watson and Crick, who are the father of inventing the DNA structure. Central dogma, they said. What is this central dogma? The DNA is having the information, genetic information. This will be transcribed onto mRNA, and mRNA goes into the cytosol and produces protein. So DNA produces RNA, RNA produces protein. Always it should happen. And they pronounced this word and pronounced this concept without having any exceptions. That is what Watson and Crick has said. And this they said a central dogma. The central dogma. Central dogma is the DNA produces RNA, RNA produces protein. Is called as central dogma. Reverse cannot happen, they said so on that day, but later on, the science, the development of science has proved no, this central dogma has some exceptions, and these exceptions are mainly by viruses, and those viruses, one of the family of this group is today what we are suffering COVID. The coronavirus is also an RNA virus which can produce a DNA. The exception to that central dogma rule. So now DNA produces RNA, RNA produces a protein. When DNA producing RNA, mRNA is called as transcription, and the RNA is producing the protein in the say ribosomes. It is called as a translation process, and then this protein usually various molecules of proteins. Some may be structural, but majority may be enzymatic in nature. What is an enzyme? Enzyme is essentially a protein. That is what is our definition is. And that enzyme acts on a substrate and produces a product or a phenotype. Say, for example, you see a plain flower and a red and white flower. So this is because of the product substrate is converted to a product, and that is what producing the phenotype. And this is the central dogma. So now, adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil, and in the RNA, instead of thymine, you will have uracil. You have uracil, and then there are three types of RNAs are known, which will be playing a critical role in the production of proteins. One is mRNA. That is, what is the information is there, how a protein to be produced. The information is there here. But how a reconstruction is to be done is all is being taken by the two other types of RNAs. They are the one is ribosomal RNA. This is which will be present in the ribosomes. So there is an mRNA. There are rRNAs or ribosomal RNAs, and there is another type of RNA which is called as transfer RNA. This is also the RNA, but what its function is, wherever there is an amino acid, it catches, it holds it, it carries this amino acid to that site where protein synthesis is going on. That is the ribosomes. So towards the ribosomes, from the cytosolic portion, carrying the amino acid is by transfer RNA. So these three types of RNAs. Now there are fourth type of RNAs have come, which are called as small RNAs. Small RNAs. These small RNAs are the scRNAs, small cytoplasmic RNAs, small nuclear RNAs, which is the small nuclear RNAs, snRNA or scRNA. Or in the nucleoli, some are there, snORNA, small nucleolar RNA. The main function is mRNA processing, poly addition, and some changes on mRNA, and cutting the pieces and editing the mRNA molecule. Here and there, they cut the recently formed mRNA, which is called as hnRNA, heterogeneous nuclear RNA. It will be modified by these smaller RNAs into the RNA which can produce a protein. That is the mRNA which can produce protein. So small nuclear RNAs, snRNAs, their main function is cutting and joining. The introns are cut out and then exons are being joined together. So these are the small RNAs. DNA is a double stranded while RNA is a single stranded. There are two strands on the DNA. One is coding strand, another is template strand. The mRNA transcript exactly follows this template strand, and or otherwise this is almost that of coding strand, similar to that of the coding strand of the gene, and then except that thymine is replaced by uracil. So transcription, the mRNA base sequence is complementary to that of the template strand and identical to that of the coding strand. That is the other strand, except that uracil is replaced by thymine is replaced by uracil replaces. Genes may be on any one of the strands. Both the strands may be having genes. So it is only with respect to gene, whether it is to call it template or a coding strand. When gene is on this strand, you call this as a template. This is the template strand, and that is the coding strand. If the gene is there in this other strand, other nucleotide strand, then you see this is the template strand, and this is going to be coding strand. So it is with reference to the gene. Genes may be on any strand, any of the strands of the DNA. Transcription now is 3' to 5' direction of the template. So now the whole thing is being clearly explained by Rosa Kornberger. Mind you, previous guy said another Kornberger. His name is Arthur Kornberger. He has invented the DNA polymerase, which joins nucleides together in the process of DNA replication. But whereas this Rosa Kornberger, again, he has described, invented how exactly the transcription process goes on. What are the steps in the transcription process? And this Kornberger is the son of that Arthur. So Arthur's son is Rosa. Both are Kornbergers. So now this man is, so in a family, 2 Nobels are being given. The father and the son both got Nobels. One is in the same molecular biology field. One invented DNA polymerase, another invented how exactly the transcription process details are all being given by the Kornberger. So what is that? Initiation of transcription. RNA polymerase enzyme is needed. The site where exactly the polymerization or otherwise exactly the transcription process needs to be started. That is what is called as promoter site on a template strand. So now the RNA polymerase, the site of it, and then it slowly goes on, polymerizes. And then the promoter site is a peculiar site, and it has a specific sequences. They are called as Pribno boxes. The end is called the ending sensing protein, which is called as the Rho factor, identify stop signal. So RNA polymerase continuously polymerases, and our Rho factor stops it. So now, post-transcriptional processing, after completion of the mRNA synthesis, there is going to be this nascently synthesized mRNA is called as hnRNA. One hnRNA now modifies. What happens? Endonuclease cleavage. Here and there, it is being cut, that mRNA. The whole mRNA gets again adenine are added. This is what is called as adenine tiling. This polyadenyl tiling occurs. This is also after transcription. So these are all called as post-transcriptional processings. Some part of the piece of the mRNA may be cut by endonucleases inside cutting. And 5' capping, a guanine, methyl guanine comes and joins there. And that is what is called as on the head side, that is capping. And a methylation occurs on that. So endonuclease cleavage, poly tiling, 5' capping, methylation, and the removal of introns and joining is splicing of exons, connecting together. Splicing is the suturing together. These processing occur mainly in the nuclear plasma. So these are the post-transcriptional processings. This splicing process, the spliceosome, and ribozymes, and the RNA molecules having enzymatic character. All these time we know enzymes are all proteins only, but here and there, especially here, the small mRNA piece, small RNA pieces, they act like enzymes, and hence RNAs acting like enzymes, ribozymes. The inventors are Sidney Altman and Thomas Schacht. Both of them are given the birth. Action of the reverse transcriptase. The last word about the reverse transcriptase. RNA, all this time central dogma is followed. Central dogma is only DNA can give RNA, but our viruses has proved that they can produce a DNA, and they have an enzyme, a wonderful enzyme called as reverse transcriptase. Forward transcription, reverse transcription. Forward transcription is DNA to RNA. So reverse transcription, RNA to DNA. That's why the name is reverse transcription doing enzyme reverse transcriptase. Mainly viruses are having it. And one is HIV virus, another one is the COVID virus, coronavirus. So now this is from RNA, DNA is synthesized. This is reverse transcriptase. So now inhibitors of transcription. One is actinomycin D. Antibiotic streptomyces is the source. Insertion of phenoxazole ring between two GC base pairs of DNA. It inhibits the transcription. Another rifampicin. This is a drug for TB. This will be acting by synthetic derivative of rifampicin, the source. It binds to beta subunits of RNA polymerase derivative, which is inactivated. So it will not allow RNA polymerase to act properly of mainly TB bacilli. So TB bacilli will be killed by rifampicin. And another one, alpha amanitin, toxin from mushroom, inactivates RNA polymerase 2. So these are the substances. Actinomycin D is a fungal, antifungal drug. Rifampicin, TB drug, alpha amanitin is an experimental drug, and all of them they inhibit transcription. Thank you very much. So please read yourself at home and come prepared on Monday for the examination, paper 1.